Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I know it's been a while. Today I have something a little different for you all. It's a television series review, and this one is on, you guessed it, Altered Carbon.
When I was young, me and my mama.
Now, Altered Carbon dropped on Netflix on February 5th, and my girlfriend Danielle and I were able to binge it throughout the weekend. It's 10-hour-long episodes and is based in the distant future. By my guess, it's got to be somewhere around like 2500, 2600. The first episode actually starts off about 250 years prior to the bulk of the events of the show. And in that first episode, they're already leap years beyond what our capabilities are here in 2018. So without further ado, let's get into it. First, let's start off with the acting, because to me, that's one of the most important part in pulling off a great series. If the acting simply isn't good or unbelievable, I really struggle to get into any series, no matter how cool the concept is. And this concept was pretty damn cool, so I'm glad the actor ensemble were able to pull it off. There are no huge names in this, but this is an ensemble cast of very, very talented actors. There are absolutely no cringeworthy scenes in this for me, as far as the acting goes. Newcomer to Hollywood, Martha Higadera, who's a Mexican star by her own rights, absolutely kicks butt in this and really holds her own. My favorite performance by far is Chris Connors portraying the artificial intelligence Poe. He's simply remarkable. So if you're worried about how strong the acting is going to be in this, don't. The cast really pulls it together well. The chemistry is amazing. Next, when I'm referring a movie or a TV show, I like to talk about the setting and the script, how the plot and story moves along. I will say this is a very difficult show to follow, for me anyway. Part of it I feel like is done on purpose because there's supposed to be some mystery surrounding the events that occur. The main character, Takeshi Kovacs, portrayed by Joel Kinnaman, is brought back from ICE, basically suspended animation, to solve the mystery of the murder of a very rich socialite in the distant future. We're not giving a lot of facts to begin with. We know that in this future it's hard to really die. The only way to die is to destroy something that's called your stack, that's implanted in your spine, that houses your consciousness. And your consciousness can be moved and implanted into different bodies referred to as sleeves in this show. Now, the uber rich pay a lot of money to have backups stored in a cloud-based system. All right, now that you're caught up, back to the story. It's hard to follow because it seems they want to keep that air of mystery, but also they're introducing a lot of new and interesting, innovative concepts within the show at a very rapid pace. I think they would have a real hard time making this into a 3-hour or a 2-hour movie. And I think that's why we got lucky and it was made into a TV show. I still feel 10 hours wasn't enough to really get us acclimated to the environment. That being said, I think with what they had, they did a wonderful job. I'd give it about a 7 out of 10. But be aware, you're going to have to pause, rewind, watch over episodes several times to really get a full grasp of the concept and of this reality and how things work within it. You'll hear a lot of references that you don't recognize and you just don't get, and you'll find later on that you just weren't meant to at the time, which can be a little frustrating for people like me who really love to understand everything that's going on before we move forward. That being said, this environment is very fun, it's very entertaining, and even though it's not necessarily a new concept, they executed it very well. So now the story itself within the environment, right? At times it was awesome, fun, and even though it wasn't always easy to follow, it was full of surprises and entertaining. However, at some times it was just completely maddening. I think I'm speaking more so towards specific characters and their motives. Some of them, they just didn't make any sense whatsoever, especially his sister. Rylene was just a complete nut job, and I just don't understand, and I'm not convinced that he had no idea, or he could have no idea, that she was just a complete maniac. And her bipolarness, going back between, oh, I love my brother, oh, but I'm willing to kill everybody he loves and knows and torture him. I just don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. Oh, and by the way, she hates her mother, who he loved and killed his father as a sort of revenge and to protect his sister for. So it just boggles my mind how they could make her such a strange, erratic villain who one moment just wants nothing but the best for her brother, but then the next minute wants to just destroy everything, and she's just this ruthless killer of children, women, it doesn't matter, mothers, grandmothers. It's just odd. Her character development was just awful, in my opinion. That being said, it doesn't completely ruin the show. Most of the other characters are fairly well developed, and you really get to grow a genuine liking or disliking for them for valid reasons. Now I guess let's talk production. The costume design, the set design, all dope. This was fun to watch. There was never a dull moment, and the casting was really great as well. So really, even if you don't care about like the substance and you want some eye candy, this is a great show to check out. I'd give those categories a combined 9 out of 10, maybe even a 10 out of 10, because this is really dope aesthetically. I loved watching it. And lastly, I just covered the ending and what I feel is in store for the series. So I will say, even though I had a lot of issues with the villain, Raylene, I was very satisfied with her death. I'm glad the writers went the route of having Takeshi do the right thing and kill her, knowing that if she stays alive, she's just gonna end up hunting down his friends, their family, and possibly even himself. Even though she offered that bargaining chip of reuniting him with his lover, who he presumed was dead this whole time. So she died as possibly the only person knowing the whereabouts of the consciousness of his lover. And he killed her knowing that he may very well never find her if he does so. Now, I don't think they did a good enough job of portraying just how heavy that moment was, how heavy of a decision that is for Takeshi. But nonetheless, I'm happy they went with that decision. And obviously, that is the cliffhanger that leads the series open for another installment. So now we can assume, rather than disappear into obscurity and live a life just chilling and, you know, whatever, now it's presumed that he will now start a journey to be reunited with his former lover. I'm sure I'll take him to different planets which exist, but we didn't really get to see them explore because most of the events took place within one. One thing I'm uncertain of though is who will be the lead actor going in. Now this is big because he was brought back into the body of a former officer who is actually the lover of his partner on screen for most of the show. That's Kristen Ortega, played by Martha Higadera. So I'm pretty sure his intentions are to give his body sleeve back to her lover, and then he's going to have to re-sleeve into another body. Now in flashbacks, we saw what is presumed to be his original body, and there were a considerable amount of flashbacks, so that actor actually got a lot of face time. So does this mean that Joe Kinnaman, who played Takeshi Kovacs for a majority of this season, will come back next season as Ortega's lover? Meanwhile, the actor who played Takeshi in the flashbacks will be the lead in season 2. That would be a very interesting shift in dynamics. And even though I really enjoyed Joel Kinnaman's performance, I would love to see this kind of dynamic because I think that would set it apart from a lot of the TV shows and movies that are like it. Switching it up, though, might be a risky move and might end up jumping the shark, might actually be a move that sets them apart from the competition. And that's what I look forward to most in season 2. What are your thoughts? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and that's all I have for you guys for now. Till next time.